Hey guys, you're watching the rest of the story. The 420 is sitting back here, and I thought, you know what, I'll do a quick little tidbit about it. Seems how I talked about the biggest tractor that's currently on the farm. The 420 is actually our lightest light-duty tractor we have, followed by the 76 and the 46 and the 82, if I had to rate them as far as the level of work they could do. Now, I talked to Dad. He's actually standing right behind you, and that 4020 right there is a 1971 model. My grandpa bought it brand new. It's never left the farm, and the thing about it, my dad actually grew up on the next farm north of here. The buildings got torn down here a few years ago, but when he grew up just up the road from my mom. But my dad, growing up, he actually remembers quite often that my grandpa was using this 4020 in the field in the fall. A lot of times pulling the 5-bottom plow. So it was the big tractor of my grandpa back in the day. I think it was probably the first newest tractor my grandpa had. He must have been pretty impressed with it because he bought 2 more. At my grandpa's estate sale, he actually had 3 different 4020s. This is actually his newest 4020. The other 2 that he bought, I believe, were he bought both those used, right? Yeah. He actually bought the 2 other 4020s, or the ones that he had when we sold the estate. Those were older than this one, but they're actually used too. One was, Dad, refresh my memory, was the loader tractor narrow front end? So my grandpa actually had a narrow front end that he traded off on a wide front end tractor. On one of the wide front end tractors, 4020s he had, if I'm remembering that right. Sorry. Yeah, this tractor has probably done, the lion's share of the work around here, probably ever since it really came around. Probably done the broadest amount of work between, well, I raked hay quite a bit with that New Holland bar rake. But back in the day when it was considered Grandpa's big tractor, it would chop all the way to hauling manure. It was just an all-around tractor. And eventually, as Grandpa started buying more equipment, it kind of got pushed down and was given lighter duty jobs, because typically you see the heavier duty jobs, which all of us farmers know, usually get switched over to your biggest tractor. And when the 4020 is your biggest tractor on the farm, that gets your biggest jobs. But over the years, Grandpa eventually bought that 4440. That's what ended up being his biggest tractor, his high horsepower tractor. And in my eyes, 4440 is a short tractor anymore. Because if it was me, that 4020, I would actually look at getting a 4440 myself, narrowing it up, and at least using it to cultivate. You guys know I'm putting nitrogen down, liquid potash, with our cultivator, and I would be interested in something with a cab, air conditioning, and better lighting, so I could run maybe a little bit longer, because I was really scraping trying to get all my corn covered. By the time I got done on that last day, I was really scraping some of that corn, because it was just getting that tall. So it's always nice to kind of update, at least in the jobs that are time sensitive. And the 4440, if I wanted to put a tank on the front, I could. Not saying I would, but I would really have to get into putting liquid down with the cultivator if I did. But that's our 4020. It's not leaving the farm ever. I believe, well, Ryan and I both got death threats from our dad as far as if we ever tried to get rid of it. We already know that once my parents are gone, we try to get rid of it. We already know Dad would be standing behind us in his spirit form, taking swings at us. But I guess we'll figure that as the cold bursts of air we're getting to the sides of our heads. But I guess we're just going to try to avoid that and keep her around. Even if she does get pushed back in the machine shed or kind of parked back and only gets the light duty jobs. Raking hay is always a pleasant job to do with it. Even cultivating isn't that bad. You open the windows up and let the wind cool you off. Oh, two things I want to say though. As far as the 4020, I've been asked if I'll put it on the round baler. I'd be asked if I put it on the disc bind. That is a big no. The 4020 could handle the round baler, but something I haven't discussed with you guys is I actually had to put a new wiring harness to the battery on the 7600 because of the power required by the baler. You have to have 14 volts, and that really can't drop at all when you're baling. And let's face it, baling is a pretty dusty job if you get dry NFA. The other thing is the disc bind. I really don't want to put it on the disc bind. I know it could handle it, I know it could pull it, but horsepower just isn't there. Did I put this one on it? I'm pretty sure I put the 735, this one we have out here, Moco, on my grandpa's 4230, which is essentially a glorified 4020 with a synchro. And that 4230 really struggled at it. So I think I was in like second gear cutting with it. And if you guys saw my live stream the other night, I was cutting with the 735 Moco and my 7600, and I was bouncing between 6 miles an hour and 8 miles an hour. And on some of our longer strips, like up at Rockville, that are long and pretty easy driving, say we can usually go between 8 and 10. But I really don't want to work the 4020 that hard. I mean, we do, as far as cultivating, for how much I'm digging with the cultivator, I think the 4020 actually does a really nice job. That is a good workout for it. We go back to chopping corn or potentially silage and filling the silos again. The 4020 is already earmarked for going on the blower. That was a very nice job that the 4020 did. It handled it great because it handles blowing the silage, but it actually gave enough that we weren't shearing pins on our blower. But with that, I gotta go help Dad. So stay tuned, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I have plenty more about the machinery around here. I can probably touch base on as we go. But since the 4020 looks so pretty sitting back there, I thought I'd do a quick little video on it. So I'll talk to you guys later.